Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Antonio, and over here at Carmel Valley Athletic Club in beautiful Carmel, California, on a beautiful sunny day. We're going to do a quick little video using all kinds of exercises on the ground to help loosen up the spine, the ribs, using all the middle body muscles, abdominals, shoulder blades, pectoralis, and glutes, so we can move those hips and ribs and get looser, right? So we can go back to binge watching and during the quarantine, all those cool shows. So we're going to start on the ground, guys, in a sitting position. And we're going to do a reverse sit-up to come down, okay? So what I want you to do, if you have a hard time coming down in a reverse sit-up, just come down on one side and rest down on the ground while I'm doing this little demonstration. But if you can do a sit-up, bring your feet together so that from the heels to the bigger toes, your feet are nice and flush together. You're going to point your toes, and when that happens, your knees become straight, which means they become level. That makes your hips level. On the way down, bring your hands together in a prayer position so your hands find the middle, right, between your body, between your legs here, so you can find the middle of your hips. Tuck in your chin, abs tight. Start breathing. Reaching with the arms as you're coming down, pointing the toes. Keep the chin tucked in. Now this allows you to come down nice and slow while opening the back of your ribs and finding your center the whole time. So your hips, ribs, and skull are all in nice alignment. And once you're all the way in the ground, just relax. And rest down, absorbing the pressure points of the back of the body. Just relax for a few moments, all right, before we start. The first movement will be to open the ribs up. So we're going to start with the head coming off the ground. So you're going to bring the chin all the way tucked in, but notice that if I do that without any help of my arms, your neck muscles are going to get tired. So you know, make sure your arms reach in front of you, okay? When you reach in front of with your arms, abs tight, throat open so you can breathe. Make sure to keep reaching, like you want to touch that wall by your feet, right? Don't have your arms just hanging out. We want to reach with them. This is going to spread apart the back of your ribs. All right, so now you're going to be able to come across, and you're going to go over to one side. When you go over to your left, relax your left shoulder so you don't tighten up against the ground so you can absorb the pressure point. Your right arm is going to keep reaching, and notice my head is staying off the ground, right? And I'm breathing through it. Now you're going to start coming back. Make sure the head stays chin tucked in as you reach with both arms and breathe. Coming across to the other side. And now you've relaxed the right side of your body on the ground while your left arm keeps reaching towards the right leg. Okay, let's keep doing this. Lots of breathing, relaxing your legs. So now what you're doing is you're using the pressure points of the ground and the reach of the arm, the position of your body here to open up one side of your ribs at a time. Little by little, you're going to start getting more range of motion. And you're going to be able to come forward a little more, closer to your foot like I'm doing here. But this is because my body's opening up to it. If your body's not opening up to it, just take your time, go a little slower. Always listen to the muscles. If they resist what you're doing, they're trying to tell you that you're not ready for that particular range of motion or speed. So just slow down, go smaller in range of motion. One more time each side. We're here to get looseness in the body at the same time that we're working these muscles. Okay, so the next exercise, we're going to come up with the arms on the head, same position as before. Now in this position here, you're going to bring one leg up. Let's bring the left leg up first. Notice I'm bringing the leg, I don't know if you can see from that angle, but I'm bringing the leg towards the shoulder. Okay, so that opens up my hip a little bit and it makes my upper body tilt to the left. Now I'm going to release the leg all the way down first. Then find my center and roll back. Open my chest, arms, head, upper body comes up first. Now the right leg. The right leg comes all the way down first. Find my center here and roll back. All right, it starts to blend in a little more as we go, but it's always upper body a split second before, lower body a split second after, right? But then on the way down, it's always lower body first and then the upper body. Preferably, we want to hold the position here for maybe 3 exhalations. You guys can probably hear I'm always breathing out. I'm not holding my breath, I'm not making those kind of sounds, right? I want to get the air out. Last one each. I'm not guessing when to inhale or exhale. I'm just keeping my throat open. Anytime I feel tension, I exhale it out. Okay, we're going to pause right there. Now we're going to bend those knees again. About hip width or so, toes curled up, belly sucked in, right? Relax your upper body. Elbows down, palms up, helps keep the chest open, okay? Now we're going to take one leg and curl it up close to the chest. Toes curled up of both feet. So When you lift your hips up using the butt muscles of the right leg, your left leg is going to extend up like you're trying to push the ceiling away from you. This is going to help open your hips a little bit. When your hips start coming down, the leg retracts. Let's go 10 reps here. 3 to go. Last one. All right, next. Make sure to keep the belly sucked in. Use the butt muscle. Keep your toes curled up. Breathe through it. Two more. Awesome. Now we're going to bring the legs close to the body, right here. Now you're going to bring one thigh close to your chest while the other leg extends out. Switch. Upper body can stay resting at first. Now you got to feel the pressures right here in the abdomen. When you come in with the leg, bring it out slightly away from your middle of your body towards the shoulder, and that helps open the hip. So it kind of starts tilting the hip a little bit, right to left. A couple more. Last one. All right, soles of the feet together. So you go into a butterfly position, as I guess they call it somewhere in America. So you're gonna bring the feet together, hands together, find your center, head, ribs, hips, and feet. Rest down. You can just relax your arms on the ground, keeping the legs as relaxed as this the whole time, just opened up. What you want to do is use your butt muscles and your abdominals. So you're going to keep the belly sucked in. That keeps the bottom of your ribs lifted. So now you just squeeze the butt and lift the hips. Coming down and up slowly. The position of your legs just helps open up the front of the hips a little better. So it takes the pressure off the spine. So when you're doing this, you're not going to have a lot of range of motion, like when your feet were planted on the ground. But the key to this is just that it releases a lot of tension. Couple more. So these are just different angles on all these exercises you might have done before, exercises you know and love or hate, whatever it is, right? Just getting a little different take on all those guys. Now stretch out your legs, relax them for a moment. So that little scissor move that we did with the legs, we're going to add it on now to an upper body movement at the same time. So bring your hands, fingertips to the side of the head. When people do exercises, often they'll interlace their fingers and grab the back of their heads and just pull on their heads or poor necks. Don't do that. Just put your fingertips on the side of the head. If you can't lift your head up and use your arms to pull and lift up by the strength of these muscles right here, your pectoralis, your serratus muscles, latissimus, and abs, then you shouldn't be lifting the head up in that position anyway for too long, right? We have to learn how to bring the head up and use those other muscles. So don't use your arms to pull your head off the ground because there's no need to. It's only going to create stress on your spine. So with your fingertips touching the side of the head, bring your head all the way up, chin tucked in, reach with those arms. You're going to bring that left leg up, and you're going to bring the left shoulder, towards the ground while the right elbow goes towards the thigh. Release the leg first. Release the upper body down. Upper body comes up, other leg. Taking a little break in between is a good way to start. And once you feel comfortable doing that, you can just keep the upper body up, the legs off the ground, and alternate. Now, if you start feeling any neck or shoulder tension, discomfort, or burning building up really fast after just a couple of reps, you're not holding yourself upright. So come back down to the ground and do the other version again. Upper body first, lower body second. Lower body comes down first, upper body comes down second. All right, so upper body, lower body, upper body. Once again, you feel comfortable doing that, go into the next version, this one. Five more. Last one. All right. Bring the feet flat, come down onto the ground. Take a ribcage breath, open up the chest. Now what I want you guys to do is on your necks, when you're ready to go, when your muscles have relaxed a little bit here, bring your head up, grab the ankles. Keeping the toes curled up, belly sucked in. You may have to wiggle around like I just did if you're on a floor like mine right now that doesn't have a lot of slide. But from this position here, notice my hips are kind of relaxed. I'm letting them go. What I'm gonna do is just work on a little bit of a stretch right now to open the front of my spine. So I'm gonna expand the belly as I inhale. I'm gonna draw the shoulders towards my hands so my shoulder blades engage, and I'm gonna squeeze the butt muscles. When I exhale, my body's gonna kind of sink and relax. So we're gonna do a few of these. Two more. Last one. So this opens the front of my hips, my spine. Now I'm gonna curl up, bring the legs in, keep them here. We're gonna extend the legs all the way down to the floor. Release then the upper body down. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, upper body first, legs second. 3 exhalations. Legs come down first. Hands come together so I see my middle. Open my chest up. So this opens now the back of my spine and ribs and hips. And the one right before this exercise was opening the front of our spine, ribs and hips. 2 more. All right, find your centering here, relax down. Take a belly breath for a second, expand your belly out. Let it stretch out. Those muscles here need to open up. The muscles of the abdomen connect from the bottom of the ribs to the bottom of the hips and all along the sides here on the hip structure as well. Excuse me. So when you take a deep breath, we're gonna make sure that we open up these muscles and let them kind of stretch. It just relaxes them. We need to use our abdomen all day long. We're either expanding and relaxing them or we're contracting them. So now we're gonna change angles in a few seconds. I just wanna give you guys a second to relax those muscles. We're gonna do a sit-up to come up. Feet together, point your toes. So make sure your feet are flush together and your toes are pointed and knees straighten out. Bring your arms up and over. We're gonna do 10 sit-ups back to back. So rising up, sitting up all the way nice and tall. Belly sucked in, you're gonna rotate 3 times each side. We're gonna come down now, feet together, point your toes. Knees become level, hips become level. Now we're gonna reach, find our center. If you're feeling tight, just take a lot of exhalations on the way down. If you're feeling looser, which is gonna happen if you do everything with the correct technique here, with the middle position here and just coming down nice and slow, eventually you're gonna feel a little looser and you're gonna be able to come down a little faster, right? So speed is earned by looseness. So if we loosen up with control and technique, we're gonna start getting a little bit looser. All right. The way up will also be a little faster. Last one. All right. Last 3, 2, and 1. We're going to flip around, hands and knees. All right, now from this position here, you want to make sure your hands are close to your knees, about 6 inches or so at most, right? And you want to make sure your arms are not doing what I'm doing right now, which is tensing up. Just let them go. Use your abdominals, suck in your belly, right? So we want to feel where the touch of the earth is on the hands, knees, and feet. The boniest parts of your body, they don't like to push against the ground. They're not designed for that. Look at the ankles, the knees, and they're skinny and they're bony. So we want to make sure that we don't push, but instead we learn to lift. So we're going to suck in the belly, and the pressure of the abdomen presses the spine and hips up in the back. So now the shoulders can stay loose and relaxed, and movement's easier. So what we're going to do here is we're going to lift up our ribs and head up first. The right arm is going to extend. Make sure your shoulder doesn't shrug in. Just keep the shoulder open. Once you have your upper body up, bring your left leg up. Now you're going to bring the belly in really strongly so the body starts to curl up. And just bring your right elbow to your left knee. Then expand and open up. Curl it up. All right, here we go. A few more. Last one. switch. So again, ribs lift, head, left arm, right leg. Now you're going to suck in the belly, upper body starts to curl in, and the leg follows. Upper body starts to lift up first, then the leg follows, upper body curls in. So we lead with the rib cage first, is what I'm trying to say. Opening up that rib cage in the front and back helps you control that leg better and better. All right, that's 5 right there. And we can do another 5, or we can switch it up. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to lift up just the leg, and you're going to bring that right leg straight up and then over to your left. And as you bring that right leg over to your left, look for it over your shoulder. Now bring that right leg in and all the way across to your left elbow. So by doing that, it kind of drops you and sinks you down towards that right side. Then bring it up over to the left. Bring it in over to the left leg again. Open up. Bring it in. Last one. Switch it over to the other side. So we're going to bring in again. That left leg is going to come up and then over. Make sure you go up first, over to the right. And then you're going to bring that left leg all the way in and over to the right elbow. Last one. All right, now let's do a different version of that kind of stuff. So we're going to extend the legs off the ground so the knees get a little rest, toes curled up, shoulders away from the neck, drop your head down, belly sucked in, coming across with the knees. This is the mountain climber. What I want you guys to do with this is try to bring it so that you go into a twist, a bigger twist with each rep. If you're feeling a lot of pulling in the back, just go smaller and slower. 3, 2, 1, and 0. I'm going to rest for a few seconds. In the kneeling position, open up your rib cage. All right, we're going to come down all the way to the ground. From this position here, we're going to work on some Superman. The arms stretched out like Superman flying through the air. When you come down, bring your forehead all the way to the ground. So you can see my forehead's all the way down. Relax your arms. We're going to start with the upper body first. Ribs lift, head, ribs, right arm, left leg. All the way down again, forehead to the ground. Now left arm, right leg. So opposite arm and leg. And in between, just always rest the forehead down. Completely relax for a moment. Then rise up again. Belly sucked in. Shoulders away from the neck. Using the abs, shoulder blades, and butt muscles. You can stay up for 3 exhalations to make it a little harder. Or you could just do one long breath. So you inhale, hold the inhalation as long as you can, exhale, just melting down. All right, so you could do that kind of variation or the other kind, whatever feels right. They both achieve different things. When you hold the breath, it expands and opens the ribs a little better. All right, now we're going to change it up. We're going to lift up the rib cage and reach with the right arm and right leg. So same side, arm and leg. We can start with the kind of gulping, panting, holding for 3 exhalations. This type of breath just keeps removing pressure. We don't make this into a pose, so it doesn't really shift the ribs and open them up quite as easily or as well as when you hold the breath, but find what works for you. All right. Last one each. All right. Now we want to come up, so bring the arms underneath the shoulders here. Pull the shoulders away from the neck, belly sucked in. Head comes up first, then squeeze your abdominals. This brings your hips up, so you're back into that running position again. So let's do that mountain climber again. Toes curled up, head drop down. This will loosen up the back of the ribs, back of the hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna bring the knees down, top of the feet down, lift the head up, chest up, bend the elbows, breathe through it. Forehead to the ground again. Arms by the side of the head again. Now this time I'm gonna add both the arms and both the legs coming up. So first upper body, now both legs. Coming down nice and smooth. Lower body first, then upper body. Two more. Last one. All right, now from here, pull your right arm, your shoulder away from your neck. We're gonna do a couple more exercises. We'll be done, guys. Let me get this hoodie off my neck. Erica. So we're gonna pull that right shoulder away from the neck here, belly sucked in. Bring your head away from the ground, and you're just gonna go sideways. Now this arm just relaxes, and you're just gonna let the head rest down. We're gonna start with we're gonna do about 3 or 4 different variations of this, okay? So the first one, keep it really simple, just the upper body. You're gonna bring your head and your right arm up. The right arm reaches, belly sucked in, breathing through it. Your legs stay resting on the ground. Now to come down, just start to slowly release the arm, and that'll bring your head down. You can bring the right arm up and over, then again, reach. Of course, this works the flank muscles here, pectoralis, serratus, shoulder blade muscle in the abdomen here, the obliques, and the transverse. So all the muscles found in the flank of the body there that help lift the ribs off the ground. Now in the next version, you're gonna bring the arms, the head, and the ribs up again, same way, and just that leg that's up in the air. For me, it's my right leg right now because I'm on my left. So we bring the leg down first, upper body second. Again. So the key with this is always work your upper body first, so your ribs are controlled first, your spine is then better controlled, and now your legs can be lifted. And this is true for anything we do with our bodies. You're standing on your legs, over your legs, right, standing up. You're gonna wanna make sure you control that rib cage. If you don't, it's gonna be hard to control your legs properly. Last one. Now the third version of this is, again, the upper body comes up, but this time keep your feet together and bring both feet off the ground. They won't rise up very high. Your voice will break, but your feet won't rise up very high. Now bring your feet down all the way to the ground and your arms up and over. Last one. And just to get a feel for this, I just did 5 of just the upper body. We just did 5 upper body only. 5 with the one leg, or 4 with the one leg coming up, and then 3 with both legs. That's just one little sequence you could do. And then you would just go over to the other side, do the other side, right? And play with this first. And then we got this one next. And then we got both feet last, okay? So I won't do that side right now, just so that we can close up here the session. But after you've done those, just run in place again one more time. Something about like 15 or so reps each side. And then a good thing to do would be just to, like, once you're done with all this routine here, is just start back to where you began the whole time, the whole session. Feet together. Reverse sit-up, find your alignment. When you're resting on the ground, some breath control techniques are really nice here, where you can open up your rib cage, expand it and relax it, start to do some belly breathing to relax the hips. Nice stretches that are good for right now, this time right now, or any time really, but now that we're all quarantined at home and we might be sitting a lot more than we were doing before, is the spinal twist. And there's versions of this. There's plenty of videos out there, and some of the videos I've done have this as well in it. The routine to open up your ribs, right? So the spinal twist helps open the ribs really well. It's a great one to do at home. Of course, the butterfly position is great, or a figure 4 with the legs, just to open up simple stuff on your back. And then, of course, you can get more elaborate with some of the yoga techniques that are out there, yoga poses. But the key would be to, give yourself variety. And so this routine here was just set up just so you can try different things, move around a bunch, and play with getting pressure off your spine so you guys can stay nice and loose. And once we go back to business, it's going to be fun again, So thanks, guys. Be safe.